Welcome to the Northeast Kingdom Voice. I'm your host, Scott Wheeler. Today's guests are two now former radio celebrities, Todd Pronto and Devaney Choquette.
Hello.
Well, this is a new forum for you guys. Actually, you've both been on my show before, but
not together.
You no longer have a forum.
I know.
We don't. Yeah, we don't. We're lost.
We're showless.
Where are we? What is this?
I don't know.
This doesn't look like a radio station.
You know, there's a saying that radio people have a face for radio.
Yeah.
It was good they left yours behind the mic. But definitely,
Thanks,
she looks good out here.
Yeah, she's
Thanks.
yeah, you know.
Hey,
Sure.
sure. I can.
So for as long as for the last several years, it's been the Todd and Devaney show, and it was actually you who lassoed me into this show.
Yeah.
And the radio show, the Vermont Voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw talent or if you just needed to fill some voids.
We just need to fill some voids.
Or was there some kind of quota system that you needed somebody without maybe half a brain?
Yeah. No. To be honest, at the radio station we needed some public service stuff, and you with the Northland Journal and all the interviews you do, it was a good idea. And then that show did well enough that when I got here, it took me a year to convince you to finally do a show here.
Yeah, because to be honest, I've told you this 100 times, or probably more than 100 times. I didn't think anybody listened to this, watched this station.
Hey.
I have been utterly floored. Like, for me to go into RJ's, I almost need to go in disguise because I have so many people coming up to me, and they said they've watched the show.
Sure.
And not one have hit me or anything. So apparently
That's a
they
good
watched.
sign.
So
Yeah.
in all seriousness, most people are used to, even if they don't like you. Some people love you, other people hate you.
Oh, sure.
But they're used to hearing your mells first thing in the morning on MOO 92. You're gone.
We're gone.
So, how many years were you there, Todd?
I started a lot.
Right.
I started in 2001 at the very bottom rung, just recording old shows. We used to have like Dairyline and Dateline NBC and Paul Harvey, if you remember him.
Oh, yeah.
Left a couple times. I went to the Chamber of Commerce in 2000. I don't even remember, maybe 7. No, wait. I went to Nashville before that.
Yeah.
So I went to Nashville around 2003 to 04. Came back to the radio station, left to go to the Chamber of Commerce, but was only gone for not long before they asked Devaney and I to get back together. So I've been there since 2001. Left a couple times.
You actually discovered Devaney.
I did. She was homeless and she was in a
I
box.
was in a box and I didn't have anything to eat.
Yeah, and I was like, geez.
He threw me the rest of his Twinkie and so.
And Twinkies are now gone.
I know.
So apparently your shelf life is a Twinkie.
Not very good.
Twinkies died and you did.
No,
What a year.
MOO had just gotten involved with the Relay for Life, and Devaney was the co-chair at the time, or promotions.
Yeah.
So she came on the radio with me. Was it a Saturday morning? I don't remember.
It was. Well, we were taping to have it air during the week.
That's what
And
it was.
I was supposed to be there like 10 minutes, and I ended up staying way longer.
Several years.
Pretty much. I mean, and so for a while she was working at Barton Graded School.
Right. I was working in the school
elementary
system.
But every time she had a day off or a snow day or school vacation, she came on to the show. So.
Then you were eventually paid.
I know. I literally volunteered, for a
while.
very long time before I was getting paid.
Yep.
But I loved it. It was immediately fell right in love with it. So.
You know what I think a lot of people think of you as? The banter on the radio, but it goes far beyond the banter. Like, it wasn't until I had you on this show, Devaney, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, before you knew that you were leaving, when you were talking about what makes you tick, in the sense of, all of your work with the cancer societies and that, because your mother passed away when you were only 17 years old. But until you were sitting there listing off what the both of you had done, I hadn't really thought about it before. And I actually had one listener mention that to me, is they had no idea all the work that you did, all the causes. Can you click? How many can you click off the top of your head that?
Over the years,
There's
there's
a
been
lot.
many.
Yeah.
There's some staples, and
Right.
then there's always been.
I mean, Hunger Fest, obviously, that's our big one. We do that every single year.
And how many tons of food this year did you collect?
We did 42. We did
42?
42 tons. Yeah.
So if you add up all the tons that we've done,
Wow. I mean, when I took it over, it was at what, 3 tons?
three,
Three
yeah,
and a half,
something like that.
and then so we grew in 5 years we grew from 3 tons to 42. That's a big deal.
And what are some of the others? You also had the Relay for Life.
Relay for Life. We do Cram the Van, which is to get school supplies.
Involved
Lots
with the
of
Penguin
blood
Plunge.
drives. Yes, Special Olympics. We do a lot with them. The Penguin Plunge.
And you even managed to get Todd to dress up as a not very hot looking woman.
Mimi.
Not so hot.
Well,
Jeez.
I don't know about you. but
Apparently,
you're a single guy.
I know, and you wonder why?
Is it?
I wear
is it-
dresses.
Is it because you haven't been able to find a woman with a goatee? Because you did. I had,
I've dated a few that have
With a goatee.
goatees. Yeah,
right.
better than mine, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
and
Yeah,
you've also jumped in the lake for good causes for Special Olympics.
Sure.
I don't think people really understood exactly all you have done over the years. So, do you plan on just becoming? Do you plan on doing any more of that kind of stuff, or do you just plan on disappearing? Todd, what you manage this station?
Yeah, I do. The NEK TV has been my full-time job for a couple years, I guess. And then doing the morning show in the morning on the side. But yeah, NEK TV, we're, I don't know, we don't do a lot of charities because we are a nonprofit. So we actually need Moo to do a fundraiser for us.
Right.
But
Exactly.
no, I still help out. I mean,
Yeah.
always going to be involved in the Relay for Life. That's how we met. It's something that's close to both of us.
Yeah.
And you're still going to be. We're going to be at the Relay
Yeah. I
for
mean,
Life.
I'm planning on doing the Penguin Plunge and doing as much as.
We probably can't
We can. I don't
pull
know
off
if-
Hunger Fest
I'm not
without
sure
a
how
radio
that would
station behind us.
work.
But we might
Hey,
still
but
go
we-
camp at Price Chopper in an
Yeah.
RV and
Why not?
see if we can
You
collect
never
food.
know.
And maybe there's a possibility that that your new morning guy, he might adopt the Hunger Fest.
He might, yeah. We
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
It's I don't know. I think both of us have always been involved in charitable stuff, even
Yeah.
before that we were in the radio. Or, I mean, I've done tons of concerts for dialysis and for all sorts of organizations. to
Yeah,
raise
but
money.
I've done something you haven't done, Todd.
What's that?
At least I don't think you have.
Maybe.
I got a chance to see Devaney have a mammogram. Well, close to it.
I've never seen her do that.
No, we've seen my mammogram.
I've never seen her mammograms
Yes,
before, Scott.
Just to the viewers is I did do an article on Devaney going to get her first mammogram. I didn't actually go all the way in. I chickened out.
You did. I would have gone right in there. I
yeah,
would have done the
I know, you
mammogram.
But I've commended
I'm next.
Hey.
I've commended Devaney because I heard her on the radio talking about going for her first mammogram, and that isn't something most people talk about. But Devaney, because she lost her mother at such a young age, wanted to do something to make sure other children wouldn't have to live through what she went through. So she was encouraging people to go to get their mammogram. So I called her up and said, "Hey, you want to write an article about that?" Well, I would write it, and she said, "Sure." And that's the way it all began.
Yes.
So she became a celebrity on the front page of the paper, going to get her mammogram.
Yeah, and my hospital gown and everything.
Did you
so.
hear a lot of? You must have had a lot of comments about that because
We
I think.
did, and actually we were at Hunger Fest. I don't remember if you were there or if you had gone home to take a shower, but we were at Hunger Fest, and the article had come out, I don't know, maybe a few weeks before Hunger Fest, and some listeners drove by, and they were like, "Oh, great, article in the paper," and they were.
Were they
excited.
commending you or me though? Because I
Me.
wrote the article.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
And it
No,
was
it's
about
right.
you.
The writers don't matter. It's all about the celebrities,
Right. Do you think
which we are not anymore.
you obviously, Devin,
Yeah.
and especially with the being able to put your mother's life out there, you've had a huge impact on people. I have no doubt that what you did that day saved somebody's life. Maybe not yet, but I suspect that there was somebody who went there and got their own mammogram, and it was caught early. And
I hope so.
I have no doubt. But do you think you have touched a lot of lives over the years? Like, even Santa comes to visit you every year.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
We're very, very lucky.
We're in with the big guy.
Right.
You know, I think radio is a very personal medium. And when we're on the air, we're very personal. We talk about our personal lives. And that's one of the things I love about it is that, we don't know our listeners, but when we are out in the community, listeners, they are our friends. You know what I mean? So they know everything about us. And so they come up to us as we're getting groceries and hug us and
they
hey,
talk to
whatever.
us like we know them.
Like we're their best friends, and I
And
think
you
that's
have a
special.
name. Yeah, and you have a name. Todd. I guess the only thing that separates you from other Todds, you only have one T. There's
One
D.
D.
there's some
Yeah.
TT, two T Todds, but Devaney has one of those names. Like
It's not a very
when
common
somebody
name.
hears Devaney, it's kind of like Madonna.
Right.
As nobody knows your last name.
Yeah,
like nobody knows Madonna's.
I actually feel bad for the other Devanys in the area
I
because
know.
they don't get the respect that they should because everybody thinks it's you.
Right. Or if they meet the other Devanys, they're like, oh,
Oh, you're a
they
celebrity.
think that they said something stupid that I said on the
Yeah,
air.
it was her.
Right. Well, I think that was what made it good with the two of you is being hardcore long-term locals. You really knew the area, you knew the people, and I think you were very approachable. And I happen to wish the new morning person well, which I know you do.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I think you really did connect with. I think you will even admit that occasionally you pissed off people. Occasionally.
Oh, me more than her. I'm good at that.
Yeah, he would leave to come down to NEKTV, and we'd get, I can't believe that he said what he said. And we're like, I had to make up big excuses.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's-
here's a question with you, Todd, because I've had to actually defend you. I just no, Todd really is a nice guy.
He is,
you
right,
like
I know.
you like to come off sometime as a bit of a old curmudgeon or somebody maybe with their pants full of something, just ugly mood. But you're not an ugly person.
No, you know what it is? When I get behind a microphone, I'm still me, but I can say, if you were on the phone talking to me on the
Yeah.
radio and I had a beef to pick with you, I could rip you apart. But
Right.
standing, you and me right here, I wouldn't say a thing, and I'd probably.
It's like you get this confidence.
I have this,
Right.
confidence. Like
So if
I'm
you were-
invincible on the radio, but in person, I'm kind of a dork.
So why can't you carry like a fake mic around?
That's what I
with
told
you?
him to do. I'm like, carry around a fake mic.
I'd be like, yeah, you know what I think about the prices on
Coming
this
up
milk
next.
here? I'll tell you, coming up next. Right after these commercials. It's I guess it's a persona per se, but.
I even kept touch with you when I was in. Well, actually, I remember when I was elected to the State House quite a few years ago now. It was before you arrived, Devaney. When Julie, she actually taught me on the air how to tie a tie, because being a good Vermonter, there's a lot of us who still don't know how to tie a tie.
Clip on.
I couldn't do a tie.
But I remember I used to give you the road report.
On the way,
On
he
the
did,
way down,
actually.
occasionally I would tell you, "Hey, this is what the road conditions are."
awesome.
And then you occasionally had news from under the Golden Dome.
Yeah, Scott would call in with. The one thing that always sticks in my mind about that day that you came in to learn how to tie your tie
Right.
is you're in my studio, shirtless, and I'm thinking, Howard Stern has these beautiful women stripping in the studio, and I have Scott Wheeler. And I realized at that point that I need to find a co-host, and
But
that's why I got Devin.
Yeah,
And
but
I've
on
yet
the
to
other
get her
hand,
to strip
I
for
bet,
me.
I bet you.
But
I
maybe
bet-
it'll happen on this
Maybe
show.
you didn't enjoy the
Yeah.
sights.
Well, we do have
maybe
to.
you didn't enjoy the sights, but I suspect Julie did.
Julie probably.
Oh, yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
She still talks about it.
It's definitely on her timeline on Facebook. Saw Scott Wheeler.
Yep,
Half
yep.
naked.
So what? So you're gonna stay here, Todd. So we know that, and
I'm here, yeah.
And I do know that you are in negotiation with Spielberg because you're starting to. Some of the shows you produce is starting to putting a crimp into his profits. And,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we're not quite James Cameron, but
Right.
close.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I'm going to be here 9 to 5, as I have been, and maybe I'll do a show on here. I don't know.
you know what
Yeah,
is
sure.
I was reading all your supporters on Facebook, and one person mentioned that is why don't you start doing a show and maybe even upload it to the world and and do that. If I can get people to watch my show, you sure could get somebody to watch yours.
Probably. The problem is Devaney's moving away from me.
Yeah, well, that's the
I
other
know.
thing.
And so I'd have to have like a puppet, and she'd have to call in, and I'd have to be like, blah, 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 or I don't know.
That'd be
So
great.
what's up with you, Devaney? Because I heard rumors that not only are you leaving the station, but you're leaving the area.
I am,
Have
yeah.
you ever lived anywhere else?
I haven't, so it's a big move for me. They did offer us other jobs at the station
Yes.
when the new owners came in and they decided to go in a different direction with the morning show. They did offer us different jobs.
Were they something? They weren't something you were
No,
looking for.
No. I'll be honest, mine was a very big demotion. So, I felt like they weren't really giving me a reason to stay. And I had another offer, so I'm going to be moving down to West Leb and doing a morning show.
On what
down there.
station's that?
It's 92.3 WGXL.
There's no chance we can hear it up here?
You can stream it, but you won't be
Oh,
able to
we
get
can
it on
stream
the
it.
dial.
Stream
You
it
can.
online, sure.
You can stream it online, yeah.
I have a feeling that she's going to be getting a lot of prank calls. I don't know from
Yeah.
who, but
Yeah, I have no idea.
And so how are you going to, how come there's a lot of people that actually think on the sly you're actually dating.
Oh, yeah. We're
oh, yeah.
married, we're dating, yeah.
So is this a divorce?
it is. It's a trial separation. so,
Trial period.
It's a trial separation. Yeah, no, a lot of people have always thought that we were together, or thought that we were married, or, and I think it's because we get along so well, and I think that came across on the air. I think one of our old program directors, her name was Michelle Stevens, and the one thing that she told us very early on, there was some work to do around the edges as far as structure goes, but she said, you can't teach people to be compatible together.
Right.
And she used to tell us that that's one thing that we just have, and we do, and I think
Yeah.
that's why we became friends instantly and have
Yeah,
stayed friends since then.
yeah.
'Cause we
He's
hang
my
out
best friend.
off
so
the air, believe it or not.
we actually, and that's why this is going to be so hard because not only, is the show over,
Right.
but, I've felt lucky because I got to work with my best friend every day, so now going from
Now you have to work with a bunch
seeing
of
this
dummies.
beautiful face every day.
Yes.
And now, not seeing that. So it's definitely going to be very different.
Now, are you going to a station with the same personality that you brought to it, or is this like is it like a stuffy station where if you said something really weird, people would roll their eyes?
I'm not really sure.
really
I don't
know, yeah.
think so. It's a similar market. It's a little bit bigger, but it's a family station, much like WMOO. So we'll see. I guess
so
it'll probably be canned first
Yeah,
day.
well,
So if you're
if
supporters,
you do,
then-
come back here, we'll do a show.
There
So
you
if
go.
you're
I can't
if,
pay you.
if the people
You're
who
used to that.
Yeah.
if the people who support you want to listen to you, they just have to street. Now, what station was that again?
It's WGXL 92.3, and I don't know the website off the top of my head, but
You can Google.
So do you
Yeah.
think you'll be listening to her?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure.
Now,
I'll-
do you think you'll make a guest appearance sometime?
I'm sure I will. It'll
Yeah.
probably be over the phone because I'd have to be back here by 9 o'clock. But
that might be a little difficult.
who knows? I might take a day off once in a while. And
As I said, I hope no matter what the station does well. The one guy that I really hope stays around. You guys have this great working relationship, but Johnny Rice.
Yes.
John has been producing my Vermont Voice radio shows for years now, and he has not only tolerated me, but you know how much editing I sometimes need.
I usually edit this show.
And
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, but
I hope
Johnny's
Johnny,
great.
Yeah,
He is.
he just, while you get a little worked up, Johnny, I think, could have a tornado rip off a part of that building, and
He wouldn't even say a word.
Yeah, he just stay calm.
Like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah. No, Johnny's been there
Forever.
really the longest. I mean, when I walked through those doors in 2001, they told me to go meet John Rice, and he'd show me, get me going. And so he did leave for a couple years, I think.
I think he said total he'd been there like 15
Yeah.
years total.
He was
so.
with Tom Steele. I came in at the very tail end of Tom Steele's. And now how many times has the station been sold?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. It's been sold a few times.
North Star Media bought it from Tom Steele. Nassau Broadcasting bought it from North Star Media. Great Eastern Radio bought it from Nassau Broadcasting and sold it to Vermont Broadcast Associates, who currently owns the station.
Yeah.
I've worked for every owner, Scott, except for the new one.
So I guess I've been involved there through, must be two owners.
You were North. No, I think you were Nassau Broadcasting.
I do understand, though, on Monday, I
You're
do
getting
understand.
canned, too. No, I don't know.
Considering I don't
Go
get
work
paid,
with Devaney.
considering I don't get paid a cent, I'm not sure of the merits of it, but whatever happens. I'd be more than happy to continue to work with the station because I think my show does have a big following, and I do know that I'm going to survive. I am going to survive at least one show because I am interviewing my friend and mayor of the city of Newport, who happens to be I'm not even sure if you'd call him an amateur meteorologist, but he might even be a professional meteorologist. Paul Manette. He's going to be a guest on my show. It will be this Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll be talking about, because he has a role at the station, new role.
He's on the new morning show. He's the meteorologist.
Right.
And he went to school for meteorology, and I think what a lot of people don't know, when you're watching WCAX or Fox 44 and it says what the temperature and like how much snowfall or rainfall we got in Newport, that's Paul Manette.
Right.
He's got like these weather
He's got
buckets.
Newport Weather Center.
Yeah, he's got like weather buckets in his backyard and like lasers and stuff. And
I have a
Prius. I mean, it's like, whoa. And he's on the board of directors here too, Scott. So be nice to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good guy. I actually credit him for moving Newport forward. If there's any one person who's responsible for what's going on in Newport, it would be Paul Manette, because he has brought a level of professionalism, but being a down-home boy, he just knows how to communicate with people.
He's a down-home boy.
Yeah.
He is. Boy.
But I have a friend who dates a meteorologist, and she's been with him for years, and I once asked her, I said, do you ever just say what the weather's going, what is the weather going to be? She says, no. Because it isn't just going to be, well, it's going to rain out or it's going to snow out. He goes into these grand explanations on why it's going to snow or rain out.
Right.
Yeah, the wind.
And so he's not. So I'm not sure about Paul. Do you know though that Paul and I have actually been confused for one another?
Have you?
He's had people come up to him. So you want to write another book?
Well, you have the same hairstyle.
Yeah, we do. And no, it's true.
I could see that.
Yeah, it's our same distinguished look.
If you don't know,
when we were on this show together, when Paul came on, he's been on I think a couple times. Is if you actually watch the show, you can actually see the glare, because we were a radiant couple of guys.
Radiant.
Yeah,
we actually had to shut a few lights off.
Because
these
it was
lights in the studio. Yeah. Yes.
So if you had, you only have about, like 5-6 more minutes left. I would imagine some of your listeners are going to tune in to watch the show. First of all, they'll probably say, "Wow, that's what those people looked like behind that mic. Get them back here."
I know, get them back behind.
Whoa.
What do you want to tell them? Because you've been part of their lives for years.
Yeah, we have. I think it really hit Devaney and I when we made the announcement and we started reading all the comments.
Yeah.
It hit me more later that night when I actually had a chance to read them all, because I was kind of flabbergasted at the impact we made. I knew we'd made an impact, but
it's bittersweet. It's nice to know that people did respond to our show and like it, and that we did impact their lives. Even if it was just, one woman just said, "You guys are a bunch of idiots and you make me laugh."
Yeah.
And that to me, that's perfect, because I think that that's what life is about. It's about impacting people, and even if it's just for a smile or we say something dumb, and we're always good for that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nice to know that people really did listen and respond and like the show. Obviously, it's sad. This is not, I felt really lucky because I found something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I was content with it, and I would have been content with it going. So this is definitely not what we wanted.
No.
Would you have stayed, if you were asked to stay in your current positions, would you have stayed?
To do the morning show?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That wasn't an option.
No, it wasn't. But I would like to, I guess, thank the listeners.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that makes an impact on us too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for putting up with us.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, and putting up.
Yeah.
And I think you probably need to, you owe people an apology for getting me involved in any form of media.
I know,
outside
I'm
of
sorry.
writing.
I know, it's a good thing I don't have any involvement with the newspaper, because I'd probably have you in there too.
No, I put myself in there, but no, you were responsible, because I wouldn't even get out from behind them. I wouldn't even get behind the mic at first.
Yeah, I had to get you going. That's one problem she never had. It was.
I'm just a big mouth.
Did you ever have to shut the mic off?
I shut the mic off on her all the time.
Yes.
Whenever she says something I don't want to hear. Unfortunately, she's still in the same room, so she's loud enough to yell into my mic.
Right, exactly. So it didn't really help out him.
It's going to be weird. I mean, this is really new. The day that this show is airing, today, the day you guys are watching it, is the first day that we haven't been on the air together.
Right.
In almost 5 years. Other than vacations and holidays and stuff. So, I don't know. And you get a couple weeks off. I have to keep working here, but
I do. Yeah, I'm going to be moving, so I have a little bit of time.
wish I could help you, but I got to work here.
So-
Hold down the fort over here.
So is it safe to say that during your years in radio, you didn't amass a fortune where you can retire now in your 30s?
No.
We're
Todd,
in debt.
and-
We had to buy equipment for the radio station.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing with radio. You don't, unless you're in a really ginormous market, you don't get rich. It's something that you either love, or if you don't love it, you're not going to do it much, longer, because there's not a lot of money in it.
No, there's really not. I think that's a big misconception.
I know. Everyone's always like, "Well, you're in radio," I'm like, "Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
it's
That's
just
why
like
I shop at the dollar store."
Yeah.
It's just like,
exactly.
I write books. Wow, Stephen King.
Yeah,
No.
awesome.
Yeah.
The only connection I have to somebody like Stephen King is one of my sons literally lives 1 minute's walk from his door. And that's the closest I come
close
to
enough.
being a wealthy writer.
Yeah.
There you go.
So what you'll have to do, maybe come June or something, you'll have to weigh back in and see what's going on, and maybe
Yeah.
We do want to say one thing though. We're planning a party.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, we're planning a party.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yes,
You're not
Friday
invited.
night, January 5th. It's going to be up at Paul's Sugar House, and we want everyone to come, all the listeners. We're going to have music and food, and just kind of a thank you to everyone for listening, and just a chance to hang out
So
and
they're-
really get to know each other.
You're going to have one
BYOB, bring your own basketball.
Yes.
bring your
Yeah,
own
BYOB.
so you're going to have one last time, Todd, to piss off some people.
Yeah, I plan on pissing off some people that night. I'm going to do a comedy.
It'll be the
routine.
last hurrah.
Yeah. Devaney's going to do Hollywood Dirt, and I'm going to comment on it.
Have you had anybody say, "Great, they're gone," at least to your face?
Not
No.
yet. There's one dude on Facebook that's all just concerned about the music changing. So,
Right.
thank you very much.
But no, I will
But
tell
no,
you.
I'm sure
no,
there's people out there.
If you read on my my Facebook this morning, that same guy said it's never going to be the same without the two of you. So no, he actually changed his tune.
I think, I think we grew on people.
Yeah.
Kind of like a fungus. Because when we
Like
first.
an amoeba.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
when we first started, I know there were people that didn't like us, but you hear less and less of it now. But I'm sure there's
Because
there's
they're,
got to be
You can't-
people that don't like
you're
us.
focused-
I don't even
everyone.
like us.
they're focusing their dislike on me now.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's, you can't make everyone happy, and everyone likes, something a little different.
And nobody likes change, which is
Right, and that's always a hard thing to do and swallow. But, I think some people like more music in the morning, and some people like more banter and laughter and energy. And I, for one, am someone who wants to listen to someone having a good time, laughing, enjoying themselves, versus listening to another news report or a weather report 14 times an hour.
Though,
Wow.
and I know we're going past our time because you get three media
That's
people
all right.
together.
I run
but,
this place.
But the
It's all
thing
good.
is I've often
Double the
asked you people, when you're in that room by yourself, I mean, not together, say Todd's out on
Yeah.
vacation in the Caribbean or something,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there in
Jamaica,
that room
Vermont.
by yourself, laughing and carrying on, do you ever feel insane?
Yes, yes. And you know what's funny is that now I notice, and I think it's from being on the air when you're by yourself, when I'm in my office or even at my house cleaning whatever I'm doing, I talk to myself and I say what I'm going to do next. Like I'll say, okay, so right now I'm going to vacuum, and then next I'm going to, it's stupid. And then I'm like, what am I doing? You're not on the radio.
Washing machine coming up next.
You're going to find out exactly now.
We actually do that to each other in real life.
Yeah, coming up next.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the price is right. They might, need
You never know.
need somebody.
Yeah,
You know that who is that who turns the letters on the
Vanna White.
Vanna White? Who knows? It might be Devaney
Hey, I'll turn some letters.
Sure.
for that kind of money.
Exactly.
I think it's
I'll even
safe.
wear a dress.
Whoa.
I know.
Me too. I think it's safe to say that you haven't heard the last of us together.
No, definitely not.
For now you have, but I think we'll be back in some capacity at
All
some
right.
point.
It's about time we.
Can't get rid of us that easily.
No.
No.
It's about time we wrap up the show.
Sure.
And
You're taking us out to lunch, right?
I'm starving.
Yeah, me too. What do you want to
bologna sandwiches. Oh, that's. So
I'll just have bread.
I will say it again: is I think you guys have done a spectacular job. I think you have given back to this community far, far, far more than most people understand, because you were not paid for all those nights that you slept in the same camper as this guy.
I know, I
And,
should have been paid.
Yeah, 'cause, you did so much for the community, and you know what, is you probably won't be doing as much because you won't have the voice to be able to. But on the other hand, I'm sure in some ways you will be giving back to whatever community you land in.
Definitely.
So, all right,
yeah.
let's bank on coming back. Oh, maybe June or so, and we'll weigh in and see where things are. Maybe
You're not allowed to
who
leave, by the
who
way.
knows? Todd might be in some dance club somewhere. And,
Who
Maybe.
knows? Yeah, there could be a future in this.
right.
Dancing.
All right.
Chippendales? Huh?
I think it'd be a good Chippendale.
Yeah. All right. And thank you for coming on my show.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for
And
having
thank
us.
you to the viewers for tuning in to another segment of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.